So they'll wash their cars in their driveway. And we don't think much about it because, oh, it's water and it goes down into the sewer. But the sewer, when it goes into the sewer, that water goes directly into the river without any modification at all.
Water. This was a really great documentary. It's very interesting to me, and I kind of want to see more about. I would love for there to be a second installation, like if this was a series, because I really wanted to spend more time on how our water actually goes through these cleansing processes. Like once you flush your toilet and how that I want to see details. But I've just kind of always been fascinated by where the water goes and how it gets cleaned. So I would love to see more on that. Great opening question to set the tone and let us know exactly what's happening in this documentary. For instance, the question, what would you do if you didn't have water for a couple days? And then I love the answers with the random people. Drink beer, drink wine. I wouldn't have a farm, or I'd be out of business with my pool business. I think all those different questions throughout in the interviews by the people and the answering by the random people just really makes us see how essential water is to just not only our everyday existence, in our everyday life and our existence overall, but also what we need it for in our businesses. I think it's just a really great perspective because it's very important and a very important topic. And I would actually love to see this as a series where you show each state and how, like, I love that you focused on Ohio, and it was very interesting and how Ohio has like some of the best, the water system in the world and all of that. But I kind of want to see other states as well, for instance, my own state. So that'd be kind of cool. It's interesting to see that bottled water could be just drinking your own wastewater. Very interesting, all of it, and great footage and technical aspects of this documentary. I love the shots of nature and just the editing and the interviews. Everything came together really well. It was a great length, and everything was laid out very well, and it was easy to understand. It was very educational for me. I think I've heard of aquifer, but I couldn't remember what it was. And just lately I have been questioning, how do we keep our water from, like, how do I do my part? And I would love to, I actually loved seeing that parking lot and how businesses can do their part. So it would be nice to see more about what we can do for, our individual parts. Anyway, there's so much to be, seen in this documentary, and so much that it just makes me think more and more about water and what I can do to help. So using a reusable water bottle and just using my Brita pitcher and tap water, I think is probably a great thing instead of bottled water too. So that helps with the environment as well. And just the knowing, I think we all know that the rain and the water that we use, the runoff, goes right into the sewage and drains right into like our lakes and rivers. But I think we forget about that, and we get so caught up in what we're doing, and we think we don't have any responsibility for it. So even washing our cars and things like that, just very interesting. And I love this, and I hope you guys do great.
Water, I really, really enjoyed this. I live in California, where we have been in drought for years, and water is a huge part of the conversation that we have, at least that I have with my family, who also happens to live in California and has lived in California for a very long time. So talking about water, talking about the drought, talking about the aquifer and things like that is actually kind of common in my family, just because, like I said, we've lived in California for a very long time. My dad is kind of a geological nerd, so he enjoys learning about these things, and then he enjoys spreading that knowledge to his unsuspecting children. So these kind of things I think I find quite interesting, especially because learning about it in a place like Ohio, which has such great water, such great sustainable water, and so the conversation is very, very different than the one that I am used to having or used to hearing about. I thought was really, really, really fascinating and really interesting to get to learn about. Because, like I said, I understood a lot of what they were saying, but it's just such a different conversation than, like I said, what I'm used to in California, where we don't have much water. So getting to hear all of their different perspectives, getting to hear about their river system, getting to hear about their aquifer, getting to hear about the things that they have done to take preventative steps, but also restorative steps in trying to maintain this water, when I think is so important, especially because, like, where I live, we are in a drought and have been. And so that's the predominantly, when we talk about water or hear about water in the news and things like that, it is often in drought terms, and it is often in reference to drought. So hearing that these people are taking this so seriously when they're not in drought, when they could easily not be as preventative, be as proactive, because they're not experiencing that, I think is really phenomenal. And like I said, it's really great to learn about. And especially from the perspective of coming from living in a place that doesn't have this kind of water, this kind of resource, it's great to see people that recognize how great they have it with the water, like with their water, and what they're doing to try and protect that and guard that, and all of the different things they've already done, but also the things that they're trying to actively combat with, expanding projects and, developments and things like that, and, how they are trying to be proactive and not let all of the hard work that they've done in prevention go to waste. I thought it was really informative. I thought it was very, very entertaining. I thought there was a lot of information, and like I said, I really enjoyed learning about it, mainly because it's such a different environment that I am used to. So I thought it was really, really interesting to learn about where it's like to live in a place with abundant water, and what you do to protect that. And I thought it was great.
Water. This documentary was full of information. After watching it, I feel full, which is not a bad thing for sure. Clearly a lot of commitment has been put behind this, and I think the team of this project should feel very, very proud. What I was thinking while watching this is, one of my friends works for the Environment Agency, which is a agency in the UK that takes care of water and river water quality. And this film reminded me a lot of his presentations, which means that it's just very scientific, very academic, very informative. I like the format of like Q&A. But yeah, I don't know if I would consider this a story, because the information is just given, whereas I would want, as an audience member, to be kind of lulled into the story. But again, personal taste. Yeah.
This film is called Water. This was a brilliant film. It made use of lots of helpful questions on the screen, in addition to clear titles and sections. I really enjoyed the interviews of regular people about their views on water, lots of interesting scientific and state details from experts, and useful CGI and aquifer charts. The footage of Ohio scenery was lovely to see. I hope many people get to watch this film to make them realize how important clean rivers are for both humans and wildlife. Wonderful work. Water. Check it out.